We have had providers at the further end of their career, the later end of their career, who have had children come and visit and have loved the area so much that they've bought homes.
One of the great things about this area is that there are still many places that are available for some acreage. So you can own a very nice home, have a very nice home built without a huge expense. And the kind of scenery and view property that is available is not unlike what you see right here.
One of the things that is great about living here is that the hospital is only 6 minutes from where I live. And you can live on a large ranch, which I do, that has bear, deer, elk, raccoons, porcupines, eagles, ospreys, everything imaginable. We have horses, and it's an incredible place to get up every morning. And you get up and you walk out on the deck and you look down at the Rogue River.
There's several thousand acres still out in this area that is available to purchase and build beautiful homes on. So there's lots and lots of opportunity here for building and living the quality of life that most of us all want that live here.
The quality of life is great. You know, I think that when you come to a community like this, you have to ask yourself, do I want Disneyland, and do I want Stanford, and do I want big city stuff? And if that's 80% of what you want, this probably isn't the place for you. However, if you like that stuff, but you prefer the rural things, the hiking, the fishing, the living, the interpersonal relationships and ties that you can develop, that's the strength of the rural community.
I think it can hardly be surpassed. The beauty is incredible. My family and I really enjoy traveling. It's a wonderful complement to life here in Curry County. And wherever we go, we can't help but say, isn't this fantastic, isn't it beautiful? But it's not as beautiful as Curry County. The mountains, the ocean, the river are lovely, also not a lot of people, and for us that has a plus.
The weather, by the way, changes quickly here. They say if you don't like the weather here, just wait an hour because it'll change.
It is a very moderate climate. Rarely gets above 90 degrees, and it rarely gets below 40 degrees.
Here we have a great storm. It can clear up in January and you go a week where it's 65, 70 degrees. And that's why we're called the Banana Belt.
The minute that you're done seeing patients, within 5 minutes you can be out on a boat, you can be out in the ocean, you can be windsurfing, you can be on a wonderful trail that leads up into the hills, you can be on a wonderful trail that leads down to the beach. You can be doing all the kinds of quality of life things that you're interested in with a matter of minutes, if not seconds.
Basically, the fishing here is 12 months out of the year. And the other thing is the Rogue River is incredibly beautiful, and we have jet boat trips that go up the river, and it's done very well. The tourists are thrilled to death because they frequently see bear, elk, deer, and otter, beavers, and it's just an abundant, every breed of duck and imaginable. And then the pelicans migrate here in the summer, and they're just great to watch. And the jet boat trips are fun because you're going through not only beautiful country, but whitewater, which makes it pretty exciting.
Historic wild and scenic river, the Rogue River, and it's one of the few wild and scenic rivers that have been identified over the years in the entire nation. And so it's got a lot of culture, a lot of history, and it's a real privilege to be able to live along this river as it opens up into the ocean.
You know, there's plenty of social things to do, from plays to bowling to golf. Golf has become huge in this area. We have our own golf course in this community. Brookings has a golf course, and of course there's a world famous golf course just 60 miles from here, and that's the Bandon Dunes.
We are citizens of the world, not just citizens of Curry County.
The community of Gold Beach, I think, has a couple of the best restaurants on the entire Oregon coast. A lot of the nightlife amounts to that.
We have a new cultural center here that has a very nice spa. We have a large art group. We have a wide assortment of artistic activities. You want to be a participant to live here. You want to create committees. You want to create activities. You want to be involved. If that's the kind of person you are, then this is the most wonderful place on the planet to live.
I think it's your definition of quality living and sophisticated lifestyle. Quality living here is, as I mentioned, is the great outdoors, the community, the people. Sophisticated lifestyle, you can go and get it. Here in the state of Oregon, if you want to go to the Holt Center in Eugene and see an opera or a play, you can do that. We have some sophistication here. We have fine arts here. We're an artsy little community. We have a lot of artists, and we don't have the traffic. Well, when we drive out on 101, if we have to wait for a minute and a half, it's like, oh my goodness, it's getting busy. And now we have 2 stoplights in town. But we're lucky, very lucky.
One of the things that keeps this area as pristine as it is a bit of its isolation. We don't have a freeway from here over to Interstate 5. What we have is Highway 101 that goes south, and we have Highway 101 that goes north. Now, when I used to live in Los Angeles, it took me an hour to get to work and an hour to get home. Living here, I'm doing anything I want to do within 5 or 10 minutes. So I save about 2 hours every day. That means that once a week, I could drive to San Francisco, or I could drive to Portland, or I could drive to Eugene, Oregon, and hit all of the big populated areas that I want to.
Aviation here is interesting. I personally fly, and that's great because I can get to Portland in an hour rather than driving 5.5 hours. Our airport here is in Gold Beach, is very accessible. It's about a 5-minute walk from where I'm standing.
One of the things that we don't have is a monster type of shopping center that is often found in cities. Instead, what we have is department stores, we have boutiques, we have unique shopping throughout the county where you can go into a store that is owned and operated by a local person. You don't have huge corporate influence where it's the same stuff in every one of the stores that you see throughout the nation. The reason that those are successful is because we also have a big population of tourists. Now, the tourists come here because it's different. They come here because they can't get in the city what they can get here.
Everything you do in a rural community, especially one that's in need of physicians, it's easy to leave a footprint, and it's very gratifying and satisfying, whereas if you go into an 800-bed hospital, you're just one of hundreds. And so it's easy to see what you accomplished here.
The secret of success in Curry County is probably not a secret. It's probably the same secret, if you will, of success anywhere. Being positive, loving where you are, loving who you're with, and that means the patients as well. The people in Curry County are very easy to love. The area is very easy to love. That, to me, is the secret of Curry County.
My defining moment took place on this particular point 37 years ago. And at that point, I had been previously living in Los Angeles, and I woke up one morning and I said, why am I living here? Why am I making this decision? I can live anywhere I want. I'm a doctor. I can pick and choose the areas that I want to live in. So I called a friend of mine in Oregon, and I said, is there any place in Oregon that a person might be able to raise a family, have a nice life, and enjoy a quality of life that I'd like to achieve? And 37 years later, I raised a family and gained numerous friends. I have an opportunity still where I'm not thinking about retiring. I can't imagine retiring because this is an area that I love to work and live in.